Hello and welcome to A View from the Cab. As everybody is well aware by now, the cost of living has just shot through the roof. It's skyrocketed. We're up into the stratosphere of being the cost of being alive. Everything just seems to cost just ridiculous amounts more. We see it every time we go to a supermarket, day after day after day. The cost has gone up. A story came my way. It's about the food bank that ran out of food because people can no longer afford to donate. It's a food bank, I think up north somewhere. I'm just scrolling through, and the lady that runs it is saying that the cost of living crisis is just affecting just everybody. Well, nearly everybody. Not the politicians, not the MPs, not the ruling elite. They're not being affected. The rest of us, plebs, we're very much affected. The food bank volunteers admit it's a worrying sign of just how bad things are in the cost of living crisis when they themselves are struggling. The lady that runs it, this particular food bank, reveals she's had to turn away hungry people. I've said it before in these vlogs, poverty in the UK shouldn't be a thing. I shouldn't even be talking about this. In 2022, British people shouldn't be starving. We shouldn't be hungry. Yeah, we've got the 5th biggest economy in the world, and isn't it wonderful? Well, no, it's not actually that wonderful, because that sort of thing doesn't really affect it doesn't affect us, does it, really? Because we're still struggling. We're at the bottom. We're struggling. We're having a hard time. Everybody is starting to really feel the pinch. This lady says, a week ago we had no items left. I think we had 5 loaves of bread and very little tinned food. The essential items we put in food parcels, they weren't here anymore. We were out of options. And the article goes on. There's a shopkeeper, Dewsbury. Where's Dewsbury? Is that Birmingham? I want to say Birmingham. It's up there somewhere, isn't it? There's a shopkeeper. He used to donate to the food bank, but he just can't afford to do it. And he quite rightly says his shop is at the heart of the community, but things have changed drastically. He made his last donation a couple of months ago, but he just simply can't afford it. He just simply, he can't do it. People can't. We're all struggling. I mean, I've been around Morrison's a few times, and given, you pick up the bag, you choose a bag on your way in, whether it be feminine hygiene products or whatever the case might be, and then you just scan it through with your shopping, and then you put it in the paid for cage as you walk by. And that's a good system. It's a great idea. But people just, when you're struggling to make ends meet, it's very difficult. You sort of say, well, I've got to feed my family first, and that's quite right. And this shopkeeper, and Mr. Rafik, I hope I've pronounced that right. And he goes on to say that his soaring energy costs, his fridges cost £500 a week. In the shop, in his shop, costs £500 a week, and he's trying, and he's trying his best, and he's struggling. He's losing the passing trade. But the trouble is now, you see, this sort of extreme poverty that we're starting to see is only going to lead. He does go on to say actually about thefts from his shop have tripled over the past few months, and this is the problem. It's gonna lead to more crime, isn't it? The more poverty you have, the more crime you've got. It goes hand in hand. Poverty and crime are good bedfellows, and they really are. You know, when a food bank, something that, you know, no disrespect to the lady, what's her name? Let me just go back and find out what the lady's name is. Tanisha Bramwell. Now, there shouldn't be any need for Tanisha Bramwell to be running a food bank in the UK in 2022. It's outrageous that there's even a call for a food bank. You know, the fact that she's had to step up and run one, it's outrageous. I find it absolutely diabolical that there's food banks. I know some people that have had to use food banks, you know, and it's we shouldn't be in the UK having people relying on food banks. It's just simply not on. You can't have Boris Johnson sitting in Westminster with Rishi Sunak saying, oh, you know, it's all good, you know, it's wonderful. No, it's not wonderful, chaps, as it goes, because there's people out in the real world that are really, really struggling, and there's people that are using food banks, and there's people, I mean, I've read I'll read all kinds of stories. A delivery, in the same article, a delivery driver tells us he can't even leave small boxes of stock unattended in the back of his truck if it's unlocked, because they get stolen. This is what I mean. It's the, and he's asked, you know, people if he thinks people are stealing because of the cost of living. Well, 100% right. Damn straight it is. Crime and poverty will always go hand in hand. They will always make good companions. Unemployment and crime, they go together. Poverty and crime, they go well together. You know, the old saying, the devil makes work for idle hands, is extremely true. You know, if you've got large sections of the population unemployed, then the crime will just skyrocket. It's inevitable. But as long as those in Westminster are fine and living in their detached, disillusioned world, then who are we to argue? We'll just have to continue struggling on, you know, with inflation at 9%. I recently had a pay rise at work, but it doesn't translate into the real world. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Because the cost of everything has just gone up. It's gone up more than the pay rise, and you know, therein lies the problem. You know, poverty and crime will always go hand in hand, and I think that the government really does need to I don't know what they can do, but they need to do something, because this country really is starting to fall to bits. The country is dying on its backside, and if we don't, you know, so if you see the big picture, you say, oh no, we're the 5th biggest economy in the world. No, we're not. We're not the 5th or the 6th. We're not even in the top 50 when our own population is starving, and at certain times of the year freezing. You know, it's just not on. Our people, we should be the ones helping the other countries that are poverty stricken. It shouldn't be us. We shouldn't be appealing for help, for you know, we shouldn't be needing food banks, especially when the food banks have got no food. So anyway, so there it is. That is my view from the cab. So thank you very much for watching. Take it easy out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.